The first scream split the night like lightning. Then came the fire. Drawless Prime's peaceful farmland lit up in crimson and orange as Sith assassins poured from the tree line, their blades cutting through homes and villagers without mercy. The soil Bryson had tended for months became a battlefield in seconds. Bryson staggered from his small hut, his breath caught in his throat as he saw the smoke rising from his village. His heart hammered. He had buried his lightsaber beneath the earth, buried the life of a warrior, but that life clawed its way back. His hands trembled as he dug into the dirt, retrieving the hilt. The snap hiss of his crimson blade shattered the silence. Children cried. Sith cloaks billowed in the burning wind. Bryson roared and charged. He moved like a beast unleashed. His blade tore through the first assassin, spinning with brutal precision. Blaster bolts flew toward him, deflected back in streaks of red fire. The villagers scrambled for cover as Bryson tore through the attackers, fighting not for glory, not for power, but for them. For the people who had given him a chance to live again. Above, a golden light descended like a comet. Silver. His face was grim, his golden saber a streak of light against the night as he cut through two Sith warriors in a single motion. Ethan landed beside him, his green blade igniting with a sharp hum. Silver. Bryson! Bryson, panting, fighting. Stay out of my way, Silver! This is my fight. Silver. Then you'll die here. The three of them fought back to back as the assassins closed in like a wave. Silver's movements were clean, efficient. The dance of a master Jedi. Ethan fought furiously, guarding villagers with each deflection. Bryson was a whirlwind of raw fury, his crimson blade carving arcs through the night. And then the ground shook. From the tree line, Darth Malachar emerged, his cloak rippling as if alive. The dark side radiated from him like heat, bending the air. His twin crimson sabers ignited with a hiss that silenced the chaos. Malachar. You thought you could hide, Bryson. You thought you could bury the shadow. But the shadow has roots. Bryson's breath hitched. The Force screamed with Malachar's presence, pressing on his mind like a weight. Malachar flicked his wrist, and a shockwave of dark energy tore across the battlefield, flinging Ethan into a burning hut and knocking Silver to one knee. Bryson barely held his ground, his saber sparking as he caught a lightning strike meant to kill him outright. The Sith Master descended the hill with slow, deliberate steps. Silver. Ethan! Protect the villagers! Ethan, groaning. Master! There are too many! Malachar raised his hand, and a dozen assassins surged forward. The field turned into a blood-red inferno. Ethan leapt into the chaos, cutting a path toward a cluster of terrified children. Silver launched himself at Malachar, golden saber clashing against dual crimson blades in a storm of sparks. The Force cracked like thunder as the two masters dueled. Silver's precision versus Malachar's brutal strength. The clash of sabers illuminated their grim faces. Bryson leapt into the fray, his crimson blades spinning as he joined Silver against their common enemy. For a moment, they were allies again. Two warriors fighting side by side, blades flashing in perfect rhythm. Malachar snarled, his sabers whirling in a deadly dance. Malachar. Still clinging to hope, Silver? Still trying to save what's already lost? He fainted, then slammed a wave of Force energy into Bryson's chest, sending him crashing into a tree. Bryson gasped, blood filling his mouth, his vision blurring. Malachar turned his fury on Silver, driving him back step by step. Ethan returned, breathless and scorched, but alive. The villagers were safe, hidden in the cellar beneath a half-ruined barn. Ethan. Master! Bryson's down! Silver parried a vicious strike, his golden blade sparking against Malachar's twin sabers. Silver. We can't hold him here. We need to leave. Now Ethan sprinted toward Bryson, sliding across the dirt. Ethan. Bryson! Stay with me! Bryson coughed, clutching his side, his saber flickering out. Bryson. No, I won't run. Not again. This is my home. My people. Ethan shook his head, pulling him up. Ethan. They're safe because of you. But you'll die if you stay. Malachar unleashed a roar of fury, sending Silver flying backward with a blast of lightning. Silver landed hard, but rolled back to his feet, golden saber humming. Silver, Ethan, get him to the ship! Bryson, struggling. No, I won't leave them! Silver, snarling. You're more valuable alive than buried here. With a surge of the force, Silver hurled Bryson and Ethan toward the tree line, buying them a second's reprieve. He sprinted after them, cutting down assassins in a blur. Malakar's sabers sliced the air as he followed, his presence like a black hole pulling everything into darkness. They reached the edge of the field, the Jedi vessel's landing ramp glowing in the night. Ethan dragged Bryson up the ramp, Silver covering them with a whirlwind of golden light. Malakar raised his hand, and the ground split open, swallowing half the field in a quake. The ship's engines roared, lifting them into the sky. Bryson pounded his fist against the ramp, tears in his eyes as he watched his burning home vanish beneath them. Bryson. They'll die without me. Ethan. They'll live because of you. The ship broke through the clouds, leaving fire and darkness behind. On the battlefield below, Malakar watched the ship vanish, his sabers dimming. A cruel smile spread across his face. Malakar. Run, little shadow. Run to the ends of the galaxy. I will follow, and when I catch you, the war you fear will begin again. Bryson collapsed in the ship's hold, clutching his chest, shaking with anger and grief. Bryson, I should have stayed. I should have died with them. Silver stood over him, saber still ignited, his expression cold. Silver, you're coming with us, whether you want to or not. The Jedi ship vanished into hyperspace, leaving Malakar's laughter echoing over the burning fields of Dralis Prime. The Jedi ship limped out of hyperspace, smoke trailing from its hull. Silver slammed his hand against the controls, rerouting power to the shields. Ethan scrambled through sparks and alarms, trying to stabilize the ship's systems. Malakar's forces had found them and were relentless. Shields at 10%, Ethan shouted. Not enough to hold against another volley, Silver growled, his golden saber rattling against his belt. Bryson, leaning against the bulkhead, wiped blood from his mouth and glared at the readouts. Put her down on the nearest world. Now, we fight them planetside. Are you insane? Ethan snapped. We're outnumbered 100 to 1. Bryson gave him a grim smile. Then they won't expect us to win. The ship careened through Vera 9's atmosphere, a barren world of jagged cliffs and sulfur storms. Enemy fighters rained fire on them. The hull groaned. Silver slammed the ship down hard in a canyon, shields flaring out with a final spark. Out, Silver barked, leaping down the ramp with his saber ignited. Ethan followed, green blade blazing. Bryson was last, his crimson saber a streak of blood-red light. Malakar's army descended like a swarm. Dropships roared overhead, disgorging wave after wave of Sith marauders and assassin droids. The canyon echoed with blaster fire, saber clashes, and the screech of engines. Bryson fought like a man possessed. He was a storm of motion, his saber cutting red arcs through the nightmarish chaos. He deflected blaster fire back into squads of soldiers, sent boulders crashing down with the force, and carved through droids like paper. But every strike came at a cost. A blaster bolt grazed his side, burning through his tunic. Silver and Ethan fought back-to-back beside him, their blades weaving together like threads of gold and green. But the swarm was endless. Fall back, Silver shouted. We can't hold this position, Bryson snarled, blood trickling down his face from a glancing blow. Go! Get out of here! Ethan's eyes widened. We're not leaving you! You will if you want to live, Bryson roared, hurling a wave of force energy that sent a dozen Sith troopers flying. Go now! Silver hesitated, then seized Ethan by the arm. We'll come back for him. Move! The Jedi sprinted back to the ship as Bryson turned, standing alone in the canyon's center as the next wave of Malakar's troops descended. The fight became a blur of fire and blood. Bryson spun, parried, and cut down foes faster than they could surround him. The force flowed through him like a raging river, turning every strike into devastation. A spear of plasma grazed his arm, burning deep. He gritted his teeth, spun, and decapitated his attacker. A bolt of force lightning lanced through his ribs. He screamed, collapsing to one knee, then surged back to his feet with a roar, cutting down 3 Sith warriors in one motion. By the time the next wave came, Bryson was bleeding from a deep gash across his back, smoke rising from his armor. Yet he refused to fall. "Come on!" he bellowed at the swarm, his voice echoing through the canyon. "You want me? Take me!" The Sith hesitated, fear rippling through their ranks. They had been sent to kill a shadow, but what they faced was a force of nature. Just as Bryson's legs buckled, just as the last assassin raised a vibroblade to strike him down, the canyon lit up in golden light. Silver dropped from above like a meteor, his saber cleaving through the attacker in a single stroke. Ethan leapt beside him, green blade whirling as blaster fire ricocheted back into the ranks of Sith troopers. "Bryson!" Ethan shouted, rushing to his side. "Stay with us!" Bryson coughed, blood staining his lips. "Took you long enough." Silver's golden blade spun in a deadly arc, cutting down the last few attackers as Ethan crouched over Bryson, pressing his hands to the wound. "He's fading fast, Master." "Then we get him out." "Now?" Silver barked. With one arm under Bryson's shoulders, Silver dragged him toward the battered ship while Ethan deflected blaster bolts. The Jedi vessel roared to life, shields flickering as they blasted off the canyon floor, weaving between enemy fire. Malakar's voice echoed over the comms, dark and mocking. "Malakar, run, Jedi! Run with your broken dog. He's mine, and he knows it." Bryson clenched his fists, teeth gritted as blood dripped down his side. "Not yours?" Silver locked eyes with him, seeing something different in Bryson's face. Not the Sith apprentice he once hunted, but a man who refused to bow to anyone. The ship soared into hyperspace, flames trailing behind it. Bryson lay unconscious in the hold, his body broken, but his spirit unyielding. Ethan knelt beside him, tears streaking his soot-stained face. "He's alive, Master, but just barely." Silver stared out the viewport, golden saber still ignited, his jaw tight. "We're out of time." Malakar's playing a bigger game, and Bryson's at the center of it. Far behind them, on the burning canyon, Darth Malakar watched the sky. His red eyes glowed with fury and satisfaction. "Malakar, you can't run forever. The shadow will always return to the darkness.